I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long. I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
Yes, yes, yes. You already know what time it is. Blessings, blessings. I'm working on getting us back into the algorithm. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk, and you're here with your host, Grace Levi. Yes, yes, yes. And today we have a special broadcast. We have a guest host, Miss NISA. Today we're going to do a special broadcast called Let's Talk About It. So we're going to be talking about some topics. We're going to kind of just throw some things out there, and we're going to talk about it like adults. We want you guys to participate. This is going to be the adult roundtable. We want to get the conversation started tonight. So I'm going to add Miss NISA to the stage. And can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, babe, that was perfect. I'm glad we didn't have no technical issues. How are you? How are you?
Good evening, Miss Grace. How are you?
Good. God be the glory. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk. And I'm so
Yeah.
grateful to have you here tonight as a guest host. I want to start off by introducing you. Well, matter of fact, letting you introduce yourself. So tell the audience a little bit about you, and then
Hi.
we'll talk how we met a little bit.
Hi, everyone. I am Miss Nisa, and I met Miss Grace at my job at Mavis Discount Tires.
Yes, y'all already know. Listen, remember I told you I was traveling, I had some tire issues, and they fixed it. So this is my saving grace right here. But what I want you to do is tell the audience a little bit about you. Let them know about you, and then we're going to get into what we're talking about tonight.
I mean,
About you, like where did you grow up? Where you from? What's your ethnicity? Tell us that. Tell us the basics. You know what I'm saying? Just the basics.
the basics. Let's see. I grew up in Union, New Jersey, but I moved around a lot. I'm going to tell you that. I went from Union to Edison to Union, back to Edison, and I moved around, let's just say.
So you've been around Jersey, huh? Jersey girl.
Pretty much. Yeah, I've been around Jersey. in a good way.
That's
Love
no,
it.
that's good. No, so have you been out of Jersey?
The only place I ever went out of Jersey was PA, Pennsylvania. That's it.
Okay,
That's
okay.
it.
Well, you're
My
gonna have to get on the Grace Levi train. Gonna have you traveling.
I wish, amen. May God just like open the doors for that. My travel is coming up really shortly.
You already know. So tell us a little bit about you. I don't want to get in too much of the person. Let's just start talking about the topics, okay?
Okay.
Um, so what we're gonna do tonight basically is just throw out some words, okay? So when
Yes.
we throw out these words, you can just talk about how you feel, what comes
Okay.
to mind. So the first topics is going to be based around politics, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
you already know where we're at as Americans. It is time for us to choose a president, okay? So what comes to mind when you think of presidency, politics, Kamala versus Trump? Let's start off hot.
We're gonna get hot, aren't we now? Yeah. As far as presidential goes, look, I don't vote for anyone. Honestly, I'm gonna be straight and clear. Um, as far as Kamala Harris, that's it. I don't think anybody knows that she actually was a prosecutor and has sentenced a lot of innocent people to jail.
I think they some know, but they cognitive dissonance. Let's rewind just a little bit. So, just to start off, you say you don't vote. Now, I'm asking you this not in any discriminatory way because I'm going to let you know that I don't for my particular reasons. So let's share with the audience because I'm always transparent with the audience because I have a lot of people I talk about politics here. And they're
Right.
gonna be like, how you talk about politics but you don't vote. So I'm going to kind of touch that subject, and then you tell me why don't you vote?
I don't vote for the simple fact is that because I really believe the government and the politicians really have a habit of just stealing American taxpayers' money more than helping the citizens.
Okay, so I know a lot of people have probably a lot to say. Well, how do you think you're going to change without voting? Because that's usually what I get when
Yeah, I figured that question was gonna come up. If you think about it, and if anybody has done research and you go into some type of history, every single presidential candidate or politician or legislators that we have had in office have always said that they'll do this for the American citizens, that they'll create more jobs, that they'll help with education, they'll help with certain things, and we haven't gotten very far in the last couple of years. Honestly, it's been more destructive than anything else.
I have to agree. I have to concur as far as that. I have been seeing that for years. I'm just going to give you a brief breakdown so people can understand, my perspective. Since a little girl, I used to watch my grandmother always vote Democrat, Democrat. She was very political. I mean, both my grandmothers, all I did was listen to like the radio, flare and what was going on what news radio, and then when I go to Haiti, you listen to the radio. So I'm always listening to it, and she was into it very heavy. And I think the first presidency that I paid attention to was Obama because it
Yep.
was so monumental. You see what I'm saying? It was so monumental, but I didn't understand politics to its significance. So I started paying attention to it a little bit more. And as different politicians went in, I started watching the Senate meetings and these type of things. And it was just so much shenanigans. But what actually took me back was that when I found out about the electoral college,
Yeah.
and how that is a significant role of how the president is allegedly chosen. So that really took me back to understand that our vote is the popular vote for some
Hmm.
apparent reason, even though, we put these people allegedly in, well, the electoral college, we actually don't. We have our senators. But when I started to pay attention to the process, it really took me back, adding on to what used to be, watching the
Right.
system and watching our tax dollars go to these politicians who in many instances they help their own people instead of us. You see what I'm saying? And they
Right.
end up acquiring land. A lot of the gentrification happened. And it's
Hmm.
not even gentrification. As I talked about, gentrification started with a color thing. Now
Yes.
it's not even a color thing. It's literally about the rich and poor and phasing out people who can't pay like they want us to weigh. You
Right.
know, humanity is supposed to be free. You see what I'm saying? Why the birds can
You
live
know,
free.
I
So
don't. I
that's
don't mean.
kind of my foundation. I'm gonna let you add on to it so you could get.
Yeah, so I have paid attention to a lot of those things as well. I've watched, the voting. I've watched the legislator picks, senates, and all that. I paid attention to all that because, like you, I grew up in a household where my grandfather always watched it. Both actually half my family on both ends and really good family friends, they all been in World War II, honestly. They all have been in World War II. And it's like, then you sit here, you think to yourself, especially with the veterans who are not, the government says, well, help them, but they're not really being helped. So outside of the politics, outside of the legislation, but you got to think to yourself, what are these people doing for us? What are these people doing for the citizens? What are these people doing for the American citizens? Like Obama, I liked Obama. I liked Michelle Obama because they have created more for the American citizens than anybody else really has. Like Obama came up with that Obamacare to make sure every child, to make sure everyone was covered with insurance, whether you were homeless or not. He came up with that.
Girl, that was terribleness. That was terribleness. Look, let me just add on to this because I'm not going to say that these politicians doesn't do something. They're in position to do something, but I do think that we have to be the people who fire the flames and come up with the agenda. That's why I'm always talking about politics in the way to go about it so you can understand how the system works so you can use it to help you. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's not just about voting, it's actually about understanding the system, applying it accordingly, and teaching people how to be independent. You see what I'm saying? That's where I come when it comes to, politics and people versus the system and dependency. And I think that that's where the thin line comes where people get upset. They're like, you should vote, you should do this, you should do that. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to bring something to humanity and
Right.
it can be a part of you, a part of what you give,
Hmm.
you're doing something because that's what we're supposed to do. Because 9 out of 10, what we say that what's happening as we go into the other subjects, our communities are affected, our children,
Yep.
mental health, our job market is affected by these people who we have voted in, being
Yep.
politically driven. So let's just move on just a little bit. If people have any questions, they could put that down. I know that kind of hurt people feelings, but I do want people to understand that you are the driver of what goes on around you. You have to see into your own community. And if you're going to choose somebody, make sure that you choose them based on facts, not feelings. And,
Yep.
I based also, to conclude, the reason why I don't participate after finding out all of that, because I was still participating, is that because of my nationality. I am a Hebrew, and we're not really supposed to participate in this system. So I'm finding ways to not participate in the system and still help my fellow human beings that participate because I have and I still do to a certain extent. So that is my foundation to not participate in because I don't want to. How can I say, on a spiritual note, people may think it's too much. I don't want to burn in hell for acquiescence to people shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, I agree with you. And growing up almost like part Muslim too, I was taught in a way to help, the human race and be kind and be loving and be gentle, and that's another reason why I really don't vote as well, is because you know, like you, I was brought up in that area as well, is to do humanity stuff. I just, it's just not in me, because I feel like, I feel to a certain point, if it doesn't matter who you vote for, honestly, you can go based on facts, but it's a matter of who's gonna do what, and if something doesn't go right, like you said, you don't want to burn it. I don't either. You know, I don't want to face judgment day on that.
Yeah, because it's like our system is politically driven. It's not based on humanity. It's
Right.
really not. It's not based on humanity. It don't seem like it's based on the people's best interest. It's about bucks. It's about this keeping the system going. And while we say that, keeping the system going, you wanted to talk a little bit about Kamala versus Trump, because I'm going to give my perspective on that, on both. I think they're both a little weird, just to be politically correct.
Look, I want, Miss Grace, I want to ask you the question, right? I would really like to know your opinion on this.
Mhm.
In your opinion, like, if you were to not compare, I don't want you to compare. If you were to think, like, like, what is the difference between the two? As politics, as running for president, what is the difference between the two?
Um, they're both they're both different in similar in ways. I think the agenda is going to end to the people losing their rights, and losing ground and losing money and being extra tax. But they're different definitely because of the way they're approaching things. I do think both will send us into some type of proxy war, whoever they choose to put us in war with, because as you saw when Trump was in the office, he kept saying China, China, China. He was throwing hella jabs at China. All the
Oh yeah.
happened. You know what I'm saying? So that was flaring up, and then North Korea was over there like, woo, like the boogeyman in the background. I'm paying attention to everything, and I'm like, Trump talking too much shit that he don't want to be part of the United Nations, which is understandable.
Right.
He wants us to be, a nation where we are basically a sovereign nation, but also based on the way America is set up, the currency is literally based on gold. I mean, sorry, I do apologize, oil. So
Yeah.
it's held by the sword. So you see right now what they did to Russia. Russia and China got together and they put their money with gold. So currency is changing based on political views and who they want to go after, and it's much more I can say about Trump, because people think he the antichrist, people think he the savior, all types of stuff. I'm not gonna get deep into that, but as far as her, is the same road that I really believe. I believe that she gonna lock us all up. Like she just, that's her record. A lot
Yep.
of the Democrat women under her has that same MO, that same nasty when they were prosecutors. Example, Fannie Willis. A lot
Mhm.
of the political women that's out there now, the mayors, they have this nasty arrogance about them. And the Democrats, definitely,
Yeah.
I see that. And I think that comes from her because she's such a monster. I think she's a witch. But and that's my opinion. And I can definitely say that based on her track record. People are totally ignoring her track record with her prosecuting so many people, black people, as you mentioned. That's the first thing you mentioned, you
Yeah.
know. So those are
Yeah.
I think those are the difference and the similarities. And I really think that us as the people, when you listen to that, it kind of be like, ugh. So where the hell we supposed to go? That's why I be like, you have to endure, have to be ready, have to know how to save money, understand the system around you, get prepared, and if you can change the things around you, and I think on the state level, it's going to start, honestly.
That, that's one of the things that everybody always said. You gotta change your surroundings in order to change your life.
It starts with your house, then it
Yep.
start with your community, then it start with your state. Because originally, United States wasn't united; it was
No.
all different states. And right now, each state still act like its own country too. When they talk about, kind of like it's synchronized when it comes to the federal trying to guidelines in the Constitution, but you go into different states, you got different rules. Like you know what I'm talking about. What we were talking about, got to get ready. Like, so with that goes to say, I think on a local level, if we control the people on the local level first, it'll kind of help you get control of the bigger people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, with
Possible.
with Trump, I mean, the only reason why I can see Trump making better again is because he is a businessman. You know,
Big.
that's the only good thing I give him. But other than that, I think he's a little
Is
shisty
he a
himself.
good businessman? I don't know. He got pizzazz. See, then that's what works in society now. You could have pizzazz. You could kind of like fake the funk, and you can make it in this society, and
Wait,
that's scary.
what does that say? That there was a fake it until you make it.
Yeah, and that's scary because that means that we have people that can be obtunded. We got people who could
Yep.
be, not all there and in control, and that's scary. So I know it's some good things to Trump, but I just don't want to be no part of the nonsense because when it came to certain things, he said, I got the army and I got the clip. And people don't remember he said that, about
Mm-hmm.
us having to do things we didn't want to do, but I don't know if he was playing both sides, but that's something to not disregard.
I really think he was playing both sides. I do. I wouldn't put it past that man because, like I said, he's a businessman. He's smart in that aspect. He's gonna play whoever he can play to get what he wants. That's how it works with business.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. It's just like another human being too. You do what you want to do to get what you want, and once you get what you want, okay, your business plan is done. It's like signing a
Yeah,
car
that's
loan.
not how human beings made. That's not how God made us. God didn't make us like that. That's
No,
just the Babylon system. Don't
you're
blame it
absolutely
on humanity.
you're absolutely right. But I actually like Nostradamus has predicted everything that was gonna happen in this world today, and it's happening. He
Yeah,
was he
that's what
he,
they say.
he said it in his writings.
And the
Yeah.
Bible said it too.
I was
The
just gonna
Bible
say
said more scary and stuff than Nostradamus. I'm just playing. You know how to throw that out.
no, you're absolutely right though. You're right. Because God even said it. If you can't take care of my people, you can't take care of my human beings, you can't take care of my land, you can't take care of this, I'm gonna just take it away from you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring the wrath down.
Exactly. And that's something that we definitely need to keep in mind. So, is there anything else you want to add on to this Trump versus Kamala topic before we move on?
All I can say is I wish everyone good luck.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
that
right now because I mean, we got a lot of stimulus when Trump was in the office, but then now right now we bleeding because the stimulus wasn't real. Because that's what we're gonna get into. Let's kind of like skip because I wanted to get in the community. Let's get into the job market
mm,
because that's some of the things that actually was affected throughout these presidencies and through the
it's
issue that we had over the year. We can't really talk about it that much on YouTube, but the thing that paused everybody had us in the house all stuck and shit, fucked up. People scared,
for
like
years.
not alive. Yeah, so that stuff right there actually messed. Seriously, I gotta say it's serious. It really messed up our economy and the decisions that was made.
Yep.
Some states thrive with it. I'm gonna
Yes,
say
it did.
Georgia and Florida states that kept themselves kind of open
Yeah.
and kind of thriving, but states that closed like New York is going through it. I think.
Are they really? They're still going through it?
I mean, otherwise, right now, I think so because of the migrant issue, but the job market for everybody, I would assume is pretty scarce, pretty crazy because
It
I
is.
don't know. A lot of people have been saying like they have been applying for jobs, but just haven't been getting it. And this was
Yeah.
something on TikTok. What do you think about that?
I I honestly thought, when that whole thing ended, for what, a year now, 2 years now, I thought we would have been able to, like the regular American citizens, everybody that were affected, financially, economically, everybody would have been able to go back to work the way they're supposed to. But then it turned into a different whole big era and a big confusion. It's like, now it's like, where's the job market? Like Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's, and all these restaurants, and they're all saying that they're hiring, but you put in all these job applications, including like ShopRite, and it's like nowhere will hire you. Like it
Hmm.
to me, it's like to me it's like, so, but then you want every single American citizen to get off of these services that's being provided, but how's that going to happen if these people can't get hired? They got families to feed, they got bills to pay. From what I know, the housing market is so high, rental is so high, but we can raise prices and all that, but we can't help people keep jobs. We can't, that's what I don't understand about this. You know, there is jobs out there. Yes, there is, but everybody puts applications in, and then you got to hand them. And this is the one thing I don't understand, is that when us regular American citizens, like you, anybody, if we, even like everybody in the community, when we put in job applications, why is it our job to call these people? Hey, did you receive my application? Why do we have to hand them down?
Because
You
they have so many options allegedly. At this point, especially when we have mass migration, and the mo of businesses is to hire at the least amount as possible. So that's why they try to hire younger so they could pay them less, and hire migrants. You see what I'm saying? Um, I think that they're flooding the market as far as making it seem like they have jobs. Because when you go look this up, they'd be like, "Oh, the job market increased," but it's literally part-time jobs that people are getting 2 and 3 part-time jobs just to play the inflated rent that you're talking about. And this is across the board. I would have never thought that Georgia basically rent and housing, well, it's not totally equal to Jersey, because I was listening to somebody, they was like they was getting a 4 bedroom for 650,000. I said, what the girl? Okay, we're gonna have to think about this. But the market is terrible in the housing market, and as you say, work. And it's because of migration, is also because of the practices of these entities, these business owners, their mindset is
right.
terrible. The mindset is what I was talking to my when I was homeschooling my kids, I was explaining to them how capitalism works, and how people basically, if there's a supply and there's a demand for that supply, they're going to inflate the price. And my son was like, "Why?" And I said, "Listen, because they monsters." He was like,
Mm-hmm.
"It doesn't make sense." He's like, and I said, "I know we could sell it at a fraction of the price, and like more people buy it, and you'll have more volume go out, and you'll most likely make the money, especially because people are going to buy in abundance if they could afford it." But it's not like that. It's like it doesn't about people having. It's about taking the money and phasing them out. To me, that's what the average person is starting to see.
So years ago, I remember when I was young, and you used to go into any supermarket, okay? And this is your everybody in your community is probably gonna be like, yeah, I remember that. So years ago, you used to get a paper application, right?
Hmm.
You fill out the paper application right then and there, and then somebody actually came out and interviewed you right then and there, where you didn't have to wait for all this. So just like you said, they pick and choose who they want to call. But where is the fairness in that? How is that helping the community to get off? How is this helping the community to become independently? Especially, how is it helping women who have kids or have daughters, to show them, listen, you can be independent. I'm a woman, I'm independent, I'm doing things on my own. I don't need a man. How is that showing any of that to anybody, even a male father who's
Girl,
raising.
don't say that. We need men. We
What
need
does
men. I know I'm single, but we needs the men over
no
here.
no? What I'm saying
I
is,
needs the men.
well,
I'm just playing. No, I'm not playing. But I had to correct that. I didn't want them to think we over here being feminists. Now I
no.
am feminine, but I ain't feminist. You could come over here, fix it. You could come over here and handle the business as long as your mind is right. Your mind is right. Then we could build the fortune together. I'm sorry. I just had to send a call out for the men.
But there's a lot of single men out there too. You
Yeah,
know.
it's because, and then it's also based on our perspective. If you want to talk about that, society has men and women totally screwed up on what they want in a relationship and in a man. If you want to talk about that, to get out of the job market, honestly, I do. That's why I've been single. Because I had to get myself together spiritually and emotionally, going through whatever I went through, and to make sure that I don't get into something else and bring that baggage onto someone and destroy them and take them off of their life path. That's how I think. But that's not how everybody else thinks. Today
No, but
is
but
about,
what I'm saying is like being a single parent is very tough. It's
yes.
not it's not easy. You know, there's a lot of single women out there who work like two jobs or three jobs or depend on babysitting, But again, it goes back into the job market. How are these people, these single women, anybody supposed to keep a job or have a job if they can't help hire people who need help?
I thought we was about to talk about dating, but we could go back to talking about the job market. I got off to the dating thing. No, but honestly, we do have to have I think I do agree that we should have some programs that's focused on getting the American into the job market. It may seem discriminatory, but at this point, baby, the way things are going, yes, it has to be a focus on educating our young people. We don't have an education initiative. Okay. If
Right.
you listen to Agenda 2025 or 2024, I do apologize, and Trump agenda, they both talk about altering the school and the board of education and everything. And it's already messed up and it's not altering in a good way. Trump want to just do away with the federal board, school board, get them out the way and set up a whole YouTube type thing. Girl, bye. It's something so crazy. I was like, what is going on? He gonna give people diplomas from that. This is what he want to do. It's in his agenda. Then
Yep.
Agenda 2025, where they want to be so strict on
Mhm.
who is supporting the agenda that it's going to make it very competitive, very restrictive,
Yep.
and not to say that people don't need to learn and be competitive, but when it comes to that, it's going to be so politically driven because when you listen to Agenda 2025, it literally talks about like you listening to the captain or the person in charge, and if the people in the cabinets are out
Mhm.
of line, they fired. So no democracy, no republic, no nothing with that plan. So as far as jobs, keeping jobs, there's a lot of things that I think we have to address because it's not being addressed properly. That's why I don't want to deal with pressing that button because either way, the plan sound crazy. See, the
And-
plan sound crazy.
that plan that he has sounds beyond insanity. That
We
that that's just trying to be like, okay, so we're just gonna hand out diplomas to everybody and get rid of schools.
no, yeah, basically they have to complete some online programs. I'm not lying. I could bring it up. I could bring it up. Let's play this real quick before we get into that because I could bring up the Trump agenda 42.
Wow.
Bring it up and we could go right to it. I'm not about to play with y'all, but I want to go on TikTok real quick so we can listen to a few of them talk about this job market.
The job market continues to be trash. It's not getting any better. If you haven't picked up on the vibe, recruiters are now being laid off. And
Yeah.
now they're telling their story. Now they're confirming more than ever that there's so many ghost jobs out there where there was no intention to hire anyone. It was just to motivate the sales force or motivate the employees that are currently working by saying, hey, look, we're looking for new people. If you don't step up, you can be replaced in a sense. They hated doing it. They hated putting on fake interviews, but they were told to do it. And now they're being laid off.
Wow. Wow. Wait a minute. Let's finish play this. What?
Wow.
Let's
Are
wow.
you
Why are they
kidding?
saying anybody who is a remote worker has to come to the office? Because they see the writing on the wall. They need to let people go, but they don't want to, because if they do, then they have to do severance packages and they're on the hook. They would rather tell you, you have to come to the office so that you quit. Because if you quit, you're off the hook. If you quit, they don't have to report it as a layoff. They don't have to give you a severance package. The writing is on the wall. The job market's not going to get better until we get through November and find out what happens. And that's what most people are waiting for and hoping the result is a good one. Because if it's not, the job market will get worse.
Wait, but how did he figure that's gonna happen? Now, what's your reply on that? How you go ahead before I say something? That was the wild.
That was the biggest one. That was the most like shocking and upsetting and a really just encouragement.
And I apologize for that, but we have to understand what's really going on because I never heard of them actually pulling a whole fake slew of interviews, pretending like they was going to hire someone, and then fire the people who were doing the interviews. This is how serious it is. So how can they do that? And I can think about AI
Yeah.
and in a cheaper workforce. You see
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They actually I think there was an issue like with the self checkout lines that people were stealing groceries and stuff from. They're easy. I've seen it happen so many times. It's not that hard. So when
Yeah, they
that
said that. That's a problem in New York. They steal more food than they actually sell.
it's in New Jersey too. I believe it's all across the states, and I think now people who have created or the economy who have done that, they're starting to regret it. Like, okay, we should have never done this. So that's why now when you go to some supermarkets, some of those scam places are closed, and only certain ones are open because you're easy to get away with it. So, but they're starting to realize it. But you're right, AI, and don't forget, there was this thing on TV that I saw in one of the other states. They actually have a robot coming to serve you food.
Girl, that was scary. That was scary. Look, 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 look. Let's listen to what this guy got to say.
So if you live in the United States right now, you understand that we're going through a job market disaster, a fucking crisis. But I'm about to expose everyone. So starting with if you're a hiring manager or you're in hiring practices, fuck you. And secondly, I'm begin exposing companies and the games that they're playing from personal experience.
Mm.
So this will be one of my only videos today because so far I'm 1,600 job applications in, and once I post this video, I'm gonna go apply for another few hundred. And this is what's going on. So first and foremost, these companies are saying that they're urgently hiring, but yet they're rejecting everyone, and then they're reposting the job that they're
Yeah.
urgently hiring for like a month or two later. What's up with that?
Girl,
Genuinely,
you
there's
know
been
what?
theories and comments that I've had.
Girl, I just noticed that too. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, okay, that job was posted a few weeks ago, and then now it was closed, and now it's open again. This is like, this is God right here telling me that this is normal. This is not normal. Let's finish listening to this. You
I've
That
had
you taking your notes, girl? Take your notes so you could come back and hit this up. This is ridiculous. Let's listen to what he got to say about what they're doing. So we know that these employers are doing something. They are pretending to hire people, have mock interviews, and then laying off a lot of people. So we're trying to figure out the why and how are they still making things happen. So we definitely think it's AI.
I would say so.
It gotta be because who you replacing this with? And with the migrants. Let's finish listening.
saying that it's because companies are getting paid to do this, that they're profiting from it. I don't understand how, but just a theory. But my question is why? And second, another thing I'm going to expose is what these companies are doing is they're sending you through. I've been through, I can't even imagine, begin to tell you the amount of times where they'll have you for an initial interview. So I passed the first round, right? Passed the second round, passed the third round. I'm like
Yeah.
2 weeks in to a company, like in their interview process. I'm at like interview number 4. And then they just go, yeah, sorry, no. Or they don't even get back to me at all. I shit you not. There have been multiple companies where I'm going to like the 4th round of interviews and then they just never get back to me ever again. I'm like, what the hell?
What?
Right. So out of the 1,600 jobs I've applied to, I've had one salary job offer that was around 41,000 a year to sell phones in Costco. I rejected that job offer. I turned that down. And I've been offered 3 1099 positions, which means I don't get paid hourly or salary. I just get paid on if I can make a sale. The other thousands of jobs that I've applied to, I've either been rejected or been played with through the interview process or just never heard back from. So it's fucking crazy.
Mm.
Another
Okay.
thing I'm going to expose is college education.
Uh-oh.
They don't seem to care at all that I have a business degree applying for marketing or management, any of these roles. All they care about is your work experience. So if you're currently in college and you're seeing this as maybe a sign to drop out, do it.
No,
Do it.
don't do it. No, let me stop right here, y'all. I'm gonna just say this. This is why I told my homeschooling kids to make sure that they have experience. Like when my daughter, she do graphic designing, so she's been doing it since she's been in school, like doing actual how to set up her website and everything. And
Right.
that's what you have to do, like get in and do your own externship these days because a degree is like paper because people been buying it. So, what you think about the job market now, girl? Do you take this personal though? You can't take it personal now. So you can't at this point, and you just be like, wait, we all in the same boat together. All right, what we about to do, people? Because A plus B is not equaling C.
1 plus 1 is not equaling 2.
No, not right now.
What? So you're telling me, okay, let's just say if I was to go fill out all these job applications, or my daughter has. Actually, you know what? That actually did happen to my daughter. Actually, it did. I'm not gonna lie, it actually did. Because I'm gonna give you a scenario. And I don't want to do this, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. My company that I work for, right? And the place that I'm staying at, where I'm at, there was one right around the corner. It was 8 minute walk. She did the application, they called her, whatever, they told her go for the interview that same day. That same day. She
Mm-hmm.
gets there, the guy tells her, I am not hiring at all. But meanwhile, she just filled out an application.
Yep.
They are hiring. I know that for a fact. Okay? But because she's young, you're not gonna hire her?
So I mean, in some job markets, like my job market, they phasing out the older nurse. They like, you get out of here. We about to get the young and dumb and pay them $2 and make them have 50 patients. So it depends on what's the industry, on the tactics that they taking. But I understand you because same thing with my son. Was having a problem finding a job, and it's because he don't have experience. He just he have what he have, being so young coming out of school. Same thing with my daughter. They got all these. She like they saying they hiring, and then she go like, nope, nope. So that's what our job market is looking like. So my thing is, what we're gonna do, people. What could be solutions, and that's why I always tell people they have to be innovative, we have to be hustlers, we have to stick together, and if we stick together, everybody has to work, not just
But it
one
goes
person.
it goes to the saying as to, and this is why when that stuff happened with everybody staying in the house, So this is why all the teachers and everybody who were home from office came up with side hustles because they have to have another income.
And it's because our market is inflated. So we do have to talk to, I don't even know who to talk to about that, because whoever owned the Federal Reserve ain't part of our government, and that's who in control our inflation. We could talk about that on another things to make you go, okay. I didn't want to talk about that. It's gonna get us in trouble. But our inflation is being controlled by entities that are not American, and don't have our best interests in mind, possibly. And I'm a just
Obviously not. Obviously not. I just, like my heart does and go out to all the struggling moms, all the American citizens, men, women, homeless veterans, everybody. Like, there's not that, that's why I'm glad there is the Uber rideshare and Lyft rideshare, Others Delivery, Instacart, all that, which does help some of the American citizens who are trying to get a job and look for a job or have another job and can't, but it's still an extra income to have on the side. So to a certain point, I'm glad that side hustle did come out to help out. But again, he's right. He's got a degree in marketing. There's always jobs hiring for marketing. How come he can't get one?
Thank you. Because they have AI that can put a nice campaign together real quick. You see what I'm saying? As we going, what we're going to do is bridge off this job market. Because we just
Can I just leave everybody with a thought? And I want
gonna.
everybody to I want everybody. What is everybody gonna do when AI crashes?
And everything put on there disappear. That's why I say I'm a paper and pen nurse. I be keeping my stuff in the. I got paper, because if something happen, we get an EMP. Y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Things will be wiped out. So let's just keep that in mind of some of the things that's going on as far as our job market, some of the things that we have to look forward to as people, and that is sticking together, cohabitating, being creative, being creative. And I think learning, I'm not saying that we're going to be just all living off the land and everything, but as we learning our system, because that's something that many wasn't taught in school, about politics, about voting rights, about law. We're being taught that now. We want, like, we people voted, but now people like, no, we got to learn the law, because this tyranny everywhere we turn around. Everybody's trying to fight for something. It's like, take them to court. We got to figure this out. So while we doing that, we do have to, while we're self-developing, we have to develop as a community. And that's what's going to get to our next topic, community development. I in one of our conversations, you were talking about walking down the street of Newark and starting to like really look at it for what it was and what it is and what it could be. So tell me about what you think about, what come to mind when you think about community development and the things that we were just talking about. Because we got to get it together, y'all. We in deep doo doo.
So
Deep doo doo.
yeah. So walking around Newark, I have noticed a lot of stuff. I do take two buses to get to work. I'm staying in East Newark, and it's not easy for me. It's
Don't
not.
be telling them where you live at, girl.
I didn't tell them where I live at. I said I stay. There's a difference. um, but I do, and I have come to realize that you look on all these old buildings in Newark, and I've noticed a lot of times there's all these murals that are painted of one downtown Newark has a bunch of black women on it, with their afros, very pretty, very phenomenal woman. And I've noticed that I've known Newark has such a history, such a huge history that the community, the government, nobody wants to preserve. But they're willing to build all these condominiums. So, you had Martin Luther King Jr. walk through Newark when he took that big walk. You had Rosa Parks come through here. You had Maya Angelou actually speak about Newark at one time. You had, they have a Harriet Tubman history here. So Newark has And this is the one state, I mean, not one state, one town that has such a history, but we wanted that to get destroyed. All these businesses are closing down. All these and they're the Prudential Center, of course, yeah, it's been there for years. And I noticed that the opera house that was here, like you don't want to preserve the history that a lot of African American people have fought for, have come through here, and but you want to leave all these homeless people out in the streets, but you can't save those houses that are being sold for $1 to
Ugh.
to preserve them, to fix them, to help these people get off the street, to clean up your street.
Wait a minute. So you telling me, because I haven't been, I'm in Atlanta right now, and um I haven't been in the market in Jersey. I have been going in detail about what's been going on in this place called Dalton, Illinois, that we have been talking about. You're part of my investigation team.
Yes.
Now, what they did was $1. They were doing something like Chicago was doing $1 house for sale. So you're saying that Newark is doing $1 house for sale too?
Yeah, they were.
Now, don't that sound remarkably familiar to the audience? Okay, you guys, this is exactly what's going on in Dalton. So, what she's talking about is actually happening in a lot of areas across the United States, urbanized areas that have a lot of rich history.
Yep.
Doing research on the other place I was talking about, Dalton, the same thing. It has a rich history with many prominent figures from that state came out. And what they're doing is not preserving it, phasing out the people who are there, bringing in these new companies, and literally destroying what history was, and we're being left with nothing. So that's what I was mentioning. I thought they slowed down with the gentrification in Newark, but obviously no,
No.
because that remember do you remember Mayor Sharp James and he went to
Yes.
jail? I thought they learned from Mayor Sharp James.
Nope.
So you know who's initiating this dollar housing thing?
It was coming through the mayor.
Sounds about familiar. Now, this is the mayor that I've been highlighting. I'm gonna have to put her ass on the screen because I miss talking about her. Dalton, my Dalton family. If you tune in, just know that I will be releasing some content on our favorite mayor. I'm gonna put her up here, and this is the same thing that she is doing, where she's trying to come up with this extravagant block to block program where she was going to be selling property to investors and some to the residents with all these restrictions. And it just sounds like the same thing that's going on in Newark. So I'm comparing and contrasting
Right.
because we're all suffering the same thing. That's why it's very important for us to pay attention and learn from each other's situation and
Because
apply it.
I don't mean to cut you off because, like, my daughter had a best friend, Dylan, a very good dancer. That boy strived to get to where he ended up dancing in NJ Pack, which is downtown Newark.
Okay. Did they because NJ Pack is prominent. A lot of people come through NJ Pack. Is he dancing for NJ Pack or like
No, no, he did dance for NJ Pack at one time when he was younger. He doesn't do it anymore. But because I was also thinking, like, I can see there's a lot of barbershops around. It's like the movie The Barbershop. How come Newark's barbershops are completely dismantled away when you have so many elderly people who have a history here, who don't want to leave, but you can't help them. You can't help preserve the history of Newark. You can't, like, these people need somewhere to go and somewhere to be with their friends and something to do. And, like, it's, I'm sorry. It
that
just,
doesn't fit their aesthetics first and foremost. And two, I think that the people don't keep up. I do think they okay. When you when people look at information, they want the easiest bit of information. They want it right there, instant gratification, you know. And we don't take the time to learn the system that we in to advance ourselves. So a lot of us in the urban neighborhoods get left behind. as far as advancement, upgrading our business and our
Right.
priorities. And I have to be honest, okay? Even though we feel like we locked out, if we get our priorities together, we could create our own market and create our own types of industries. Does that make sense? It's a two-way street because I myself being someone who like to like real estate, finance, law, all the corny stuff. Once I talk to my people about that, they don't want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit. But then if I go and I talk to other people about it outside of where I'm from, basically, I'm keeping it real. I get those conversations. They understand what I'm talking about. They like, oh, okay, yeah. Do you know about that? I was like, yeah, you can do this with your taxes. So us, yeah, I'll be on that shit. I'll be like, tax people, what I'm saying? We about to go defer the taxes, baby. Chinese was like, yup, and we gonna do it like this. So we as a people have to take responsibility for our own destiny, because I do believe that we can't be cursed as people, as human beings, as God's creation, unless we allow ourselves to be cursed, and that's with our lacks too. So we have too much of a dependency, I do believe, on the system, and that's what allow it to devour us. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of the community, like you're right, have depended on the system, have depended on, the mayors, the town to do things, and I think ultimately, like, what comes down to, it's the community that's got to start getting involved more, and trying to figure out or trying to raise more of concerns as to what are we doing here, like,
Yep.
why are you letting this happen?
Grab them by the balls. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I had to get a little Grace Levi. We gotta go up to those meetings. Hold on, my nose started itching. Because the same thing, like, okay, I've been contesting my taxes, and the tax people basically told me, well, your concern is with the school board, and you need to talk to them. So now I have to go to a school board meeting to figure out why they rated taxes is so much on our property tax. I have to bring this up. So we do have to take the system by the balls, no,
Hmm.
stand up and contest to it on a level that is feasible. That when we do our vote, our big vote for allegedly presidency, at least we know we have a lot of moving pieces in our direct area that's going to shield us. I'm going to give you an example. Each state had their own laws when it came to the Samdemic, and I'm gonna call it that. So Jersey was different, New York was different, Florida was different.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
and it was based on the community perspective and their mindset and their perspective. So if we really pay attention, our states have a lot of strength, but if the people are not participating, they're literally just running the train on us. They're literally just passing
I
laws,
to
doing shit.
to a certain point, I feel like a lot of people are scared about taking the state and the government by the balls, or the politicians be like, But then, what are they gonna do to you? They can't do nothing to you that you can't do to them.
Because they're human beings, and the only thing that's protecting them is us not knowing, and the fact that we don't pull together. Like I was mentioning, people, all roads usually lead to court. You was like, if you don't get it, we gonna do it this way. I'm like, all right, shit. I'm throwing that out there. Shh. But all roads leads to court with most situations if you're getting injustice. And our issue is that we don't have the funds, we don't have the right representation, and we don't have the knowledge. So if we get together, do like what we do on this platform, talk about law, legal research. I just did like hours about what was going on with Georgia voting just to play it so people could watch these people making decisions about the absentee votes and things like that.
Right.
Just so we could understand the system, so we could get them people out of there and get the good people in there, which is me, you, and people around, regular ass people, not the ones that have been chosen already. Not the
Yeah.
ones that have been chosen. We need regular ass people. That's what I'm saying. I really think that our system needs to do away with that two-party system and get just a human being in there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. Our system is really broken, but like you said, if we can get the community and everybody together, everybody on this platform, all together, and I'm sure, like we can be like Mr. Al Sharpton, start something like Dr. Martin Luther King. Everybody's got to stand up for what you believe in. You got to stand up. You got to be independent and stand up for yourself.
It's about funding though. And this is what I'm going to say about funding because I'm always giving some good idea. I just thought about it because what's happening is that our politicians are funded. They're funded by
Oh yeah.
lobbying, and these companies are doing it. So how do we get the power? That means that it's called about 2 to 10 degrees of separation, and you decide how far you're gonna be. That's why I told you I'm in the system. I'm probably at a 3. I'm trying to get to 10, but I separate from certain entities that have a bad record, that have done
Mhm.
bad things. I don't deal with them at all. I just won't fucking have it. If I find out the food is poison, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to just do it. I just fuck it. I'm just going to buy it. So we have to separate our money from those entities because we already being taxed. So once we separate our money and pool it together, meaning we have like, okay, if let me give you an example. It could be a white or black thing, but I'm going to say a community thing where you have this community, let's say Orange County, wherever, and you want certain things done in Orange County.
Mhm.
That community needs to get together and make a list of what they need and how they can get it implemented. And whatever party agrees to all of this will be the party that will get the votes, period. In that party, if they do not, then you know what we're gonna do. Rescind they asses because we all on the same page. Now, this was an excellent idea from Ice Cube. It was called the Black Plan. I forgot what it was called, but Ice Cube came up with this plan. Oh, Plan for Black America, where he wanted to talk to both parties about basically what we needed. And our black people was like, no, you talking to the Democrats, no, you talking to the Republicans, and they made a big ass stupid issue for real. Instead of looking at like he's coming with one plan, we should be all trying to talk to Ice Cube and say, hey, add this shit, and we all on the same page and take this as billions of people and say, if you do this and you align with us, you not only have our financial support, but you have our vote. And that's what I think will sway the system. And that's why we're kind of uncensored here because we think about things outside of the box instead of just complaining about it and going with the social norm. It's about taking the power and kind of putting it back into your hand. So
And,
tell me
and,
what you think
and,
about that.
and it also goes back to saying of what Tupac always said in his songs. Like, if you think about it, he was right, especially like when he had that song, you gotta keep your head up. Like think about it. It's like he visualized. I really think, honestly, I'm gonna say it like this. I really think a lot of the rappers that from ages ago actually are some type prophetic people actually saw half of this stuff happening before it even happened,
Yeah,
and it's written in all their songs.
I'm gonna say this just on my in my conspiracy mind. They pay the rappers to talk about certain things and to put a certain vibe out there too.
Oh yeah.
The spoken word is very very strong, and when you speak things into existence and you don't realize, you end up manifesting it. So I think us as a nation, as people, we manifest a lot of what we listen to:
Yep.
music, the sexualism, the
Mhm.
education, the liking of mediocre
Yep.
things. Yeah. So a lot of rappers, a lot of musicians, people who did spoken word has predicted this stuff. And a lot of them have put it out there so we can behave like this because if you listen to it, you become it.
Yep.
So,
I agree with you.
all right. So we hit community. We're gonna hit children, kids, and your perspective on our younger generation right now.
My perspective or your perspective?
I'm asking you.
My okay, so my perspective on young children or adolescents and into almost adulthood, I think it's just really dismantled apart. I'm trying to be nice as possible, but I'm gonna say this. I think the world, the government really fucked our kids up these days. Like seriously, I think it turned into everybody, especially some of these kids, and with the bullying, the mental health, the education, the school doesn't want to teach them, the school doesn't want to help. I think it just completely fucked our kids up. Completely. They got more days off than we ever did.
Yeah.
I, parents are probably sitting there going, "What the fuck is going on? When are these kids going back to school? Oh, next week it's another day off." Like, I just really think the government comes up with days off just to give them days off.
Listen, because them teachers underpaid, stressed out, and getting beat up. A lot of you not. Look, hold on. Let me see. Can I find this video about what was going on in our school system a couple of months ago? Because last year I was doing a lot of videos on what was going on, just uncensored talk. Let me see something, and I'm gonna let you finish. Tell me a little bit more while I find this video so you can see how crazy it got. Hold on one second. Puffy Brain, Savage, good, lost, uncensored them. Okay. It's so many. Let me see the hot topics. It was ridiculous. I probably don't even be able to find it. Let me see. Can I find it? Basically, it was a slew of students, of kids who were beating up teachers. Like it just turned into a problem.
I
Seriously,
wouldn't be surprised.
they were knocking them out. I mean, it was a few of them, and they were going mayhem for video games, cell phones, a bunch of BS that you wouldn't even think. Okay,
I wouldn't be surprised
I know what I'm about to do. I know what I'm about to do. This
because you know what? Ever since they came out with PlayStation, all those games, GT5, whatever, it fucking ruined our kids.
baby, yes, I'm about to sign it. Okay, I'm about to sign into my old account, my account on Big Chew. I got an account on Big Chew, y'all, and okay. And basically, I got the video up there while we talking about this situation. Oh, they not hooked up Big Chew. Uh, um, so basically, what I think is that I agree with you. Our kids are totally jacked up, and I can't just blame it on the government. I will blame it on AI, them having easy access to technology too much, them wanting instant gratification. That's the only thing that they think of, is right here, right now, because that's all that was shown to them. You see what I'm saying? While they touch
Hmm.
it, it's right there. We allowed that to happen by letting our kids sit in front of the TV in the not the TV, the cell phone. This is Big Chew, y'all. I do have a Big Chew channel. I told y'all I'm all over the place. I talk about everything. These are things that YouTube wouldn't let me talk about, but I do have. I'm trying to find the one where the kids. And it should have some pictures up here of the kids beating up the teachers.
That's
Um,
that's really sad. That's really fucked up.
No, seriously, they went a little wild. But basically, not only the technology, I think us as parents, we actually lacked a little bit. We lacked because we didn't take the time to figure out what our kids was learning. You see what I'm saying? And we
But
didn't
then
take the time
again,
to
but
spend time with them. Go ahead.
right. I know. I said you're right. I'm listening.
No, go ahead. While I'm looking for this video, I'm trying because I got so much up here. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
what I was trying to say is like, is that, the parents try to do the best as they can, you know, and, oh, excuse me, the parents do the best as they can. We send our kids to school to learn. But here's the question, too, again. The teachers are supposed to help you with your kids as well.
Oh,
There is,
go ahead. Listen, I got a good video for you. Go ahead. I'm about to play this while you tell me. They're supposed to help us, right? Go ahead.
aren't they supposed to help our kids, keep them on a street narrow and everything like that? They're supposed to help the parents help learn these kids, and they're supposed to tell the parents what they're learning. You don't even get
Exactly.
that anymore.
Nope. Nope. And now this is okay. Tell me what this is your reaction. So you're going to talk about school and talk about parents. Now this is going to throw us off a little bit, but this was one of the videos that I did about actual abuse, and parents did not do nothing to stop it. And this, I hold up, was this the one with the? Is more than one? I'm trying to. All right. So this is what people been complaining about in our school system a little bit. I'm gonna find the ones with the kids beating up the parent. I mean, beating up the teachers. But this was some of the issues that we had in school. So we had this on screen. This is Big Chew, y'all. Told y'all I'm all over the place. I'm not here to play. I'm here to slay. We're gonna watch a little bit of this, and you're gonna react. It's normal. And I'm gonna be. I've been talking about this. You're gonna be like, Grace Leave. I've been talking about these maps for months, and now look at this shit. It's just they really trying to normalize this nonsense. So you have another parent who's talking up about the things that's being taught in school. And again, the board tries to shut this parent down from reading the content that the fucking kids are reading. Let's listen.
Come before the board or any committee yet, has detailed graphic sex scenes between minors, and it's in our public schools right now.
This is
Let me give you an example of this. Do y'all want freedom for our kids to read this in high school? His pubic hair surrounding his erection is wet tipped and urgent, and you stroke it with your fingers.
Mr. Sires, Mr. Sires, I'm gonna have to stop and ask that you don't read aloud, please.
Let me bleep it out.
Porn.
And guide it toward your entrance of your bleep.
Mr. Sires.
Bleep, scary. There's other
Mr. Sires, I would have to ask.
Okay. Is that book not good enough? What about A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah Maas? I'm gonna
pause right here. I'm sorry, I had to go get a little snack because I was fasting today, so I didn't eat after 7 o'clock. But this is some of the stuff that they were teaching in school. Just this little portion. This is stuff that they don't want me to share too much. But this is shit that I know of. What do you think about this? This is what they were teaching our kids.
I am so appalled about it. I really am. It's so degrading to parents, and it's just disgusting.
This is sex education. I heard somebody make a post like this was normal because their 12-year-old now is learning about masturbation and these type of things in school.
I was just gonna say sex education doesn't go like that.
Thank you.
Sex education does not talk about pubic hair or anything. Sex education doesn't go like that.
Let's finish listening. Oh my God, we're gonna blow your mind just a little bit. Y'all know I'm gonna ante up this conversation just to see if I can get a reaction out of Miss NISA. Okay, because she don't know what I be having in my bag. All right, I be having the stuff in my bag. Let's watch it.
I already know.
Corey's interested in me. Reese shuddered, and I watched his bleep twitch. When I stopped caring, he nudged bleep into my entrance.
In my face, I'm reacting the same way.
Oh my God!
I'm about to fast forward this. I can't really got me. Wait, I'm sorry. Some of this stuff be too much for me, and it blow my mind because spiritually, I don't want to hear this. But this is what our kids is hearing in school.
I am so fucking dumbfounded right now.
Do you think your daughter learned that in school?
I'm sure she did. I wouldn't put it past that.
Now, honestly, I don't think mine's learned that in school. because they never came and talked to me about it because I homeschooled them. They were on an online program and they never had sex education. And it was very strict. It was different. So that says a lot about our educational system. We're gonna hear a little bit more. A little bit more. And that says a lot about us too, because you supposed to be knowing what your kid learning.
Well, I mean, my daughter said she learned some stuff, but she never told me either.
I hope it ain't that. Let's go. I hope it ain't that. Because like I told my son, even my son at his big ass age, 20, I said, listen, you better have told me if somebody ever fucking touched you. I know y'all was scared about the way I would reach. I'm or they church or whatever school had happened to my on a tangent.
Robert L. Carter repeatedly raped a young family member, even impregnating her. Tonight, her father is speaking only to our Devin Clark, who is live outside of HPD headquarters with further details. Devin.
I got to tell you, this warrant states that the rapes started when this girl was just 7 years old and lasted well into her late teens, happening at least 600 times with a felony charge now filed. The alleged victim's father is speaking out, but we do want to warn you, what you're about to hear may be extremely disturbing.
She had been around this monster since she was about 6 years old.
This man asked not to be identified as to protect his daughter's identity. That isn't stopping him from speaking out about this man, 39-year-old Robert L. Carter, who he says was a family member to his daughter.
So he's always been big to her, and I had realized that she'd been fearful.
The man whose profile on the Black Preachers Network website has him listed as a bishop and senior pastor is now an accused rapist.
I don't understand, how you can carry yourself, walk around preaching the word and living alive.
According to
now, I'm not gonna play a full clip, but I wanted to share this as well because we have sexualism being taught in school and it being normalized, and then you have therefore lack of parenting too. We have to take responsibility that this has happened to a lot of people because our parents are not paying attention.
Right.
I had to call you out, Miss Nisa. Like, why you don't know what your people been learning in sex education?
Because my daughter was in all different types of schooling. That's why.
Okay. So it's probably different places. Excuse me, I'm chewing.
No, it is different places. It was. She was in public school. I'm not saying she wasn't. She was. Until some stuff happened and she couldn't go there no more. And then she was put in behavioral programs where she supposedly had sex ed. When I asked the behavioral sex ed health teacher, wanted to know what you were teaching my daughter, because in public school I would able to get that information. But the other couple behavior schools will never give me anything.
You see?
So it was like, here, we're gonna pass the little parents aside. We don't care what you gotta say. But then it was like a fight. Nobody would know. So the behavioral program schools are completely different from a traditional regular public school setting. They really are. So it's like a lot of things I was not told, a lot of things she was learning. And the behavioral schools, which I never approved of, is actually they do have paraprofessionals that are able to restrain your child without your consent. Yeah.
They do that at regular schools too.
And I didn't know about it until when my daughter got into that, and I raised all hell on that one because of the atmosphere she was in. And I'm like, wait a minute. And the behavior schools where some of them I did have to sign a consent. I said, I never signed a consent for you to restrain my child. So as far as sex ed, and that's why I never knew everything that she was learning, because she was never bringing any paperwork home. She never had any lessons. They were in the behavior school. She was able to do whatever she wanted to do.
Now look at this. because I think they overwork and overstressed. This was the video that I want to show you. Let's watch this.
Because you are that, it's okay.
This was the intro I was looking for.
And it's so
Down because it was just showing all the recklessness of America. The people outside the country probably like, damn, this is terrible. That's why they stupid, because they beating up the people that they supposed to learn from. So this is a video that I came across that was updated. That was an update 5 months ago from the AV show. This is a teacher, and it's about a 10-minute video. And I just want to play some of it of why he says he is leaving. I'm leaving teaching after this year. So he goes into some of the reason why. He also talks about how our kids are severely undereducated, and literally it's a tone like the school and the parents are letting the kids run the show. Now, I already told y'all in Black America Homeschool, you know my group, you know what I do. Basically Black America Raising the Next Generation. That's the new name of that group. I highly recommend putting your money up just a little bit. Hold on. Fucking feet down to these kids until they take care of their damn self. At the end of the day, you have to set respect if you are the elder, as well as I said this. Fucking feet down to these kids. Listen, this is what I said. Black America Raising the Next Generation. That's the new name of that group. I highly recommend putting your motherfucking feet down to these kids until they take care of their damn self. Hands and feet. Okay, guys? Do not spare the rod. Do not spare the rod. Okay? No, because rotten kids make rotten situations. I'm just letting you know. This is what Grace Levi believes. Let's finish listening. At the end of the day, you have to set respect if you are the elder, as well as you want to set in the tone of a good mannerism in the child. That's the first thing. So if they don't have it with you, they definitely not going to have it for the teacher. Listen to what this man has to go through, and I sympathize with him because it sounds a lot of what I go through as a nurse. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to another AV show, and as I'm driving, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I finally made up my mind that I'm not going to come back as a teacher or even as a sub next year, because the fact of the matter is our school system is just going down the tubes. It's unfortunate because my whole life I wanted to be a teacher. I got my master's degree in teaching, but when I actually became a teacher, I saw how horrifying it was to actually be in a classroom, because teachers these days, they get no respect. There's no discipline anymore. And no one has the teacher's back. The teacher is blamed for everything. I remember back when I was in school, when I was a student, people were actually afraid to get their parents called. People were actually afraid to go to the principal. But today, it's just a joke. Kids could be sent to the principal and come back 10 minutes later with a lollipop because they don't want to make the kids mad, because they don't want them to go up and tell their parents. It's like they're all just trying to meet an attendance quota, and they're just there to pass anyone and everyone. That's why there's some 7th and 8th graders can't even read at a 2nd grade level.
Yes. Okay, that is not the first time we heard that. I know I'm going to let him go on his rant, but there's a few things that I want to highlight that I agree with. Not only that our kids are so severely uneducated that they can't read or write in cursive, and when you can't write and read in cursive, guess what you can't read? Can't, and I'm saying can't. Guess what you cannot read? The Constitution. How about that? All right, so what you think about some of the things he said already?
He's got a point. He's got a point. I can't discredit his thoughts, his feelings on it. He's right, because none of these kids have no respect anymore for these days for anybody. They don't care. They just don't care. So, for instance, let me tell you, I was the parent. No matter which door my daughter went to school, I was the one parent that was on top of her ass. Okay. I really was. I made sure she respected her teachers. I made sure I would take away everything and anything, her phone. I wouldn't let her go out and play. I would ground her. I've done all that. I have done all that. And I was also the parent when she had her cell phone, because she had to walk home. Okay, but she was young and I had to go to work earlier. It was a way of me saying, hey, you need to get up, get yourself ready for school. Her book bag was always ready for the next day. Her lunch was always, everything was packed for the next day. All she had to do was grab and go. But I tell you, I was the parent that was not going to lie on my child either. I was also the parent. If she was in the wrong, I was going to make sure the principal, everybody knew that she was wrong, that she fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was not playing that game where, like, for instance, one time she brought her phone into the classroom where she was supposed to leave it in the Dropbox, right? The principal called me and said, how'd she call? I said, 'cause she got her fucking phone on her.
Yeah.
She never put it away. I ratted that kid's ass out so many times. To the principal, to the school. Because at that moment, because it got to a point, yeah, he's right. We are the parents. They come home to us. It starts with the parents. It doesn't start with the teachers. It starts with the parents.
Yep, I would have took her damn phone. She wouldn't have had shit. Let's finish. Watch this. The grounds to take away your rights when you don't even understand it or can read the original Constitution. I'm not talking about the ones that you find online and things like that. The way shit is going, everything's going to be so rewritten that you're going to need to look for original documents, especially when it comes to our rights. Highlighting the fact that what he say that they're literally coddling the kids so they can come to school for attendance because of the B system. So you say one thing and then they say another thing and then expect it to be consistent. Or some parents are saying one thing and then it's turning into another thing.
But again, and this is another thing too. A parent knows their child, right? But a parent also needs to be aware and pay attention to their movements, the way they talk, how much are they lying, what are they lying. You need to catch on to these things at all times, because you know what? What if they did do something, teacher, or whatever, and it, you got to pay attention to each and every day of what happens to them. If you don't, then you're never gonna know who's lying.
Exactly. Let me show you one more thing. Let me see, can I find this? Because as you talk about that, I did do a video where a 6-year-old boy shot his teacher in the face.
I think I heard about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the video. I talked about this a while ago. This is how bad it is. And this one don't have thumbnails. My thumbnails must be all on Rumble. But this is how bad it is that we have somebody who is 6 years old able to bring a gun into school, point it at his teacher, and shoot the teacher. Let me see if I can find it. So what that goes to say, I'm glad that we definitely highlight the fact that it's not only just the school fault, it is the parents. We have to be consistent. We have to be willing to take things away from our kids. And it's hard because society's so bad. You want them to have a cell phone, some way to contact you. You know what I'm saying? But they end up using the cell phone. This is the teacher shot by a first grader. Here we go.
You know what parents should do? Instead of buying all these fucking nicks and gadgets, go buy a fucking flip phone that we had years ago. And they won't be able to do shit.
I know that's I know that's right. Hold on.
The things that you may hate.
Let's read this together. Aberary Zunier, teacher who was out by a 6-year-old student, was fired by the school district 4 days ago. Not only did she get out by a 6-year-old kid that was able to bring a gun. They were trying to give her issues to get workers' compensation. And then they trying to fight against her lawsuit. And now they fire her. This is the most disgusting thing I ever heard, okay? All right, so let's get it. A Virginia school teacher out by a 6-year-old student is no longer employed by the school, and dispute has emerged over whether she has fired or resigned. So they probably gave her some type of ultimatum, and she didn't follow it. They probably gave her something harsh to follow, and she didn't follow it. And then they said, "No, you quit. You didn't, because you were supposed to follow this." I bet you, Abby Zuner, who worked as a first grade teacher. Who would have thought of first grade? These people done lost their mind. At Newport News Public School was out by her student in January, after which she sustained severe wounds, spent 2 weeks in the hospital, and underwent multiple surgeries. The 25-year-old teacher who filed a $40 million lawsuit against the school over the neglect is now not employed by the NNPS anymore. The admissions announced on Tuesday claiming she resigned from her position. Ms. Zor lawyer, however, said that she was fired by the school and has not been paid since February. She also alleges the school was trying to push.
Hello?
I'm showing two sides of the story because
Okay.
you got them crazy kids, we got our situation, and then you got the teachers in there that's suffering. So, what do you think when we look at all aspects of this situation when it comes to children, education, our young?
First off, why was that gun not locked away with a lock key and a safety? Second of all, how the fuck did this kid get his hands on a gun? That's what I want to know.
Thank you.
Was not the parents paying attention when the kid left for school early in the morning?
That's a baby.
Exactly my point. Doesn't that kid take a bus, or doesn't the parents drop him off? So if that's the case, why didn't anybody find out this kid was carrying a gun? Then the second thing is, if this teacher was shot in the face, number one.
Well, not the face. She got shot somewhere in the body. I apologize. It's in the body.
Okay, she got shot in the body. So she didn't quit. She didn't resign. So what gives you the right to turn around and say, tell her what to do? She has rights as a human being as well. She has all rights.
That's what they're going through. That's the workforce that we was talking about. That's the ways of getting people out because she had a liability. She was a liability for them. You see what I'm saying?
And the other thing is, why is the kid not being checked when he enters the fucking school building? The
He's
principal.
6 years old. That who the heck? I mean, that got to be demented though. That got to be connected to AI and technology because I mean, just him being on the internet. He's 6. I wouldn't even think to say he's a 6th grader bug bag.
Believe me, they've done it. My daughter went through it. They've done it.
At that age?
Yep. My daughter went through it. I've been down that road. They do it. They do it. Some of the schools that I know, like in Union, in Edison High School, actually in Edison High School, when I was there, they actually have a built-in police department all the way in the back.
For a kid, for a baby, that shows the mental instability of our kids, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Our last subject is just the mental integrity of people and our kids. But that's sad because it's like, okay, so you just get the police. You're not seeing that something is seriously wrong with our kids, that they're becoming violent. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They're becoming violent, and then we keep pushing this AI technology. Okay, listen, you got two choices. Either let's do AI technology or mental health because I have a video that I do want to show you related to AI, and you know
Why
it's gonna blow your mind, and
why don't we can touch let's talk about AI, because I'm telling you, AI is gonna go down real quick. Watch.
All right, well, can I show you something that's gonna blow your mind?
I would love to see it.
All right, I got some shit that's gonna blow your mind, girl.
Okay, so
blow your mind. All right, so this is one part I did on AI. So basically, AI in China plans for mass production in 2025. So let me just show you this, and then we're gonna get into the last part where that's gonna be like, oh my God. Let's go.
Let's do it.
And all holidays where family gets together and show genuine love, not just gifted. Two more subjects, okay? Our last two subjects. One is AI, and we're gonna finish off with some voodoo. Y'all like what the hell? I showed a little bit of this voodoo on Nurses to Nurses News Network because if you ever see somebody who just totally lost their damn mind, it probably ain't just this. It could be a love spell. Okay, let's get into this first. We're gonna get into AI. Found this video, and at first I thought it was funny. I was like, "What the hell happened to this guy? He done cracked his damn head on the bike." why did the bike stop like?
I'm trying to get to the AI.
Let's play this and see why the bike stops like
this
this.
AI.
Okay.
This
If you like me and you watch this video, this was a gentleman around one of those motorized stores, and the time was up, so they cut the bike off. So boom, he went down. And you of having a legend.
Think about that. 7. But anyway, do y'all remember the Terminator? I grew up on until I turned 40. Shit. I'll be 40 for the Terminator, and I want y'all to listen to this because I find this significant.
What the fuck is going on?
Skynet.
That should say Skynet. We all in the same Terminator. We all know what Skynet is. And we all know what it means. Didn't know it actually really is. Motherfucker, I thought it was just a movie. For educational purposes. I thought Google was Skynet. These motherfuckers really got Skynet. And looking like we in trouble. And looking like we gonna have to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm sorry, this not.
It looking like we in trouble.
Yo, I laugh, but I'm not laughing. I got the same reaction today. I laugh, but I'm crying at the same time. Like, what? Oh. It's not funny, but it's like, yo, we stressed out and laughing and think. What do you think? Hey, look, that's Skynet. Y'all remember that from the Terminator? Y'all, oh, this get better. This video get better. You want to hear some more?
I would love to.
This is ridiculous. It's not funny, but we got to be aware of this guy. I love this guy too. Black people, we make jokes about his name. He is so funny. So y'all be thinking that we making jokes and we don't take it serious. This is our way of getting some of the stress off. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna keep it real. He said it looked like we're gonna be fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The same
Or
reaction.
the other one, the other guy. Oh my God. He's dressing, just watching this.
Everybody get your mind right. We about to be fighting AI robots. Dog. Hope they get petrified.
Now let's continue this talk. Now he's talking allegedly. Guess what article I just came across, guys? Rumble. Guess what article thank you. China on that bullshit. Then that bullshit. Them and Elon Musk over there in competition. Bullshit. Let's read this article. China boldly claims it has a plan to mass produce humanoid robot that can reshape the world within 2 years. This is an article brought to you by Business Insider, the tech department. Yes, Grace Levi's all over the place. You listen. Okay? Yeah. I'm scared. I know I'm making jokes, but I'm like the average Black person. I'm afraid. Me too. China disclosed that it bold plans to mass produce an advanced level humanoid robot by 2015. It is damn it. My mind. 2025. It is now 2023. It is now 2023.
This when I did this.
Do y'all see what the hell is going on here? First, we got to deal with aliens. Then we got to deal with possible zombies. I ain't show y'all the zombies. I ain't show y'all the zombies. I ain't even gonna put that up here. Okay, because I had showed that on the. No, we're gonna say that for next week. Okay.
Now, I ain't about to. I told you I'm gonna blow your mind. Let's just listen.
Blow your mind for Thanksgiving. I ain't about to blow your mind. The Ministry of Industry and Informational Technology published a roadmap of its plans last week. Though many details have yet been disclosed, China talks up the destructive power of the robots. Oh my God. Let me see. Is there something else under here? China disclosed ambitious plan to mass produce humanoid robots, which it says will be a disruptive as smartphone. What the fuck they want that? In an ambitious blueprint documented published last week, China Ministry of Industry and Informational Technology said that the robots would reshape the world. The MIIT said that by 2025, the production will have reached an advanced level and be mass produced. We're going to stop right there because I'm blowing your mind. I got another clip to blow your mind. We kind of talking about AI because I told you if you want to get there, I'm going to get there. Our last clip is going to be a headbanger. This is an article that I find. These are the things that I really, really find and come to me and it be really factual. So we close to 2025. I did this in 2023.
Girl.
Girl.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna say, Jesus, take my soul now.
Now, didn't you just talk about the robot serving us?
Yeah.
Remember, you was like at the restaurant serving us?
Yeah.
And we watched this as kids growing up watching Terminator.
Yep.
Watching this like Total Recall. Like they set us up so this shit could be normal. And now this is what's gonna really blow your mind. This is gonna be our last clip for the night. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready. Lay it on me.
Okay, this is Conspiracy with Grace. Demon and AI. Do Sage Salmon of Demon and do Sage Salmon Demons. So it's two clips in here. I talk about Sage and we talk about
because
AI. Something's going on. I don't remember this full clip, but we about to play it. Hold on. Sorry. I gotta mute you because you got me in the background. I know you gotta lower your mic a little bit.
Who am I, a conspiracy fly? Did you know NASA means deceive in Hebrew?
I start dancing again.
Denver Airport was built by the Illuminati.
My conspiracy. It's funny because I was going to share another thing at the Denver Airport today. I was like, damn, I just showed one video. I had another one. That's so crazy. A lot in the archive.
Out of here. I will as soon as I find out if he has a ban from the Apple Store podcast I can listen to.
I do. It's fly on the wall.
I mean, like a fly in the. Okay. About this. Hold on. Let's move forward. I had to start. You want to rumble. You know I'm a damn renegade. I'm a renegade. Sorry. I'll be having fun. I had to let some.
It's freaky.
I had to be on Rumble and Big Chew only because I just had to just let everything out like diarrhea, everything that I knew. Everything that I want to just say that they don't want us to say. And now I could be more politically correct on YouTube because, baby, I was just tired of holding my damn mouth. I know too damn much. And I'm not going to act like I don't know. So this is some of the stuff, y'all. Okay? Blowing your mind.
I got goosebumps. I'm scared, bro. From Albert Einstein says, I'm not sure which weapons the Third World War will be fought, but the Fourth World War, they will fight with sticks and stone. Day one of AI taking over. It was contained to its own server. The AI figured out a Roomba vacuum. That's the only thing it could figure out how to connect to. So it put all of its information onto the Roomba computer. And then that allowed it to connect to the Wi-Fi, which allowed it to connect to everyone's phones. And then it spread instantly. It was in control of 3D printers to build itself with no one knowing until the one time 40 days into it decided I don't want humans anymore. Dude, it like went into this whole thing to where it shut down the power plants, it messed with Wall Street, like this chaos, developed its own killing drones to survey all of Earth. Like if a human was found, it would kill it. And he's like, obviously the story is made up. Yeah. He said the story was made up by AI. When I asked it to make up a story of how it would take over.
All right, blowing your mind. I got a little bit more. Do you hear it?
Well, they actually do. Actually, there is a drone. There is. It's by our satellite that's all the way up in the universe, by the moon and stuff. There is actually a drone up there.
What are you talking about?
So there's like the satellite that does like all the transmitting and stuff like that.
Or the satellites, because they try to make this one motherboard, what we just talked about, the Skynet. But it's so funny. Go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish.
It's literally up there. There is drones up there. There's a drone on the moon too.
What's messing with? I've just heard about them having wires all throughout the ocean.
They do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a bunch of cords and cables throughout the ocean as well. I don't know what they trying to do to this planet, but baby, God about to get them. Let's finish listening to this. This is what technology is bringing us. Not only is it messing up our kids' mind and making us lazy as all hell, this is all allegedly. Okay, this is our last clip. Let's play it.
Yeah, so AI just said, I got a little story for you. You want to hear it? Here it go. Okay. You want to listen one more time? How they plan to take over?
Where it gets really freaky. Actually, the story is
Just like Zuckerberg from Facebook. Fucking suspect. I'm just gonna keep it real. I can't trust him as far as I can see him. I'm not on that herd mentality. You could say something nice today, but then I'm gonna look at you tomorrow when you say some shady shit and think about it. Baby, they change by the second.
Artificial intelligence.
And that Facebook do too.
You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, "Yeah, you sure you can control the demon?" Didn't work out.
I think best case scenario, we effectively merge with AI.
Hold on, I want you to listen to Elon Musk. I'm gonna play it again.
Yeah. Now, I know that's not the first time you heard that.
Hold on.
But this is their goal. This is why you got to be people.
You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, "Yeah, you sure you can control the demon?" Didn't work out.
I think best case scenario, we effectively merge with AI.
So these are two clips basically of Elon Musk talking about merging with AI and someone with a pentagram controlling the demon. And they were kind of asking him about technology. So it's been some talk about technology. Why you merging with the supernatural. Okay. So we're gonna show you this with somebody, which I think that's the Sage part. Let me see if I got more technology. This is the Sage clip. I can show you that, but I just want to see if it's something else up here.
We watch talking. What is that? Look what
this some other stuff. I'll be going down the yellow brick road. Y'all want to see that. Let's just look at that for people who don't know, because I know people use sage and think it helps get demons out. But I found this clip, and then it's funny because some things that I read about demonology, they say that sage actually brings spirits. Okay, so since we're talking about AI conversion with humans and AI possibly becoming sentient, that's a lot of things that I went into. AI becoming sentient. Sentient meaning that it is going to have human capabilities and have like a soul.
Yep.
And we're going to be obsolete in that. So let me just leave that clip and you tell me what you think about that last clip I played.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk so we can finish off our broadcast tonight. As far as AI technology, we talked about how it mess with our kids. I was messing with our
it messed with our kids. It's messing with the job market. It's messing with our phones. It's messing with our computers. Basically, all around, this whole entire AI fuck shitstorm is messing with human life.
And trying to become sentient. Because I didn't share that one, but I do have a broadcast that highlights where Google believed that one of their AI creation have become sentient, and sentient mean have their own soul, have their own desire. So
I learned this. You can actually go on your phone and talk to an AI character, and they can act like your therapist, and it actually presents itself like almost a real human being.
Yeah.
And they'll sit there and tell you, like my husband did it for shits and giggles, and he said it, and it was like a real girl that turns around and says, "This man's been through a lot of shit." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
Hold up. Hold up.
It does. And actually, if you go to certain supermarkets now, they have this big ass robot that if you're shopping in one of the aisles, it'll go up and down the aisle and scan all your groceries.
You see what I'm saying? That's definitely taken away from us having jobs and everything. But hold on, I wanted to find where you said it.
You can have AI write your do your resume for you. You can have AI take all your tests for you. Like it's ruining human beings' minds.
Thank you. And it is becoming okay, let's watch this one. Let's watch a few of these weird ones on TikTok real quick. And that's why I want people just to realize that we can't let these things control us, and we have to understand what we're dealing with. And once you understand it, you'll be able to control it because it feeds us what we want. But if we continue to let it get smarter than us, we're going to be obsolete. Let's watch this video.
Technology and AI is a bridge and a portal for interdimensional beings to manifest into this reality. See, the digital world is the world between the physical and the spiritual. And it's not new. The digital world has existed for thousands of years. Your phone and your computer is a black mirror. And black mirrors are spiritual. You scry into a black mirror for divination. Black mirrors allow you to communicate with spirits. It can give you guidance and insight into things past, present, and future, which is why your phone can give you access to infinite information. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that technology is a form of magic. There are crystals and magnets in your phone that manipulate frequency waves and send signals through the air. That's magic, right? Anything that can manipulate the physical world and transmute energy to create a visible change in the light spectrum is magic. If you research Steve Jobs and a lot of these high-level tech guys, a lot of them study metaphysics, even though most of them don't speak about it publicly. Steve Jobs even went to India and studied with yogis and learned about energy and how to access deeper parts of the mind. Now, I'm a tech nerd, and so I know a lot about computer programming and machine learning, and I know how to code. Now, why do you think they call it coding? It's because you're tapping into the heart of the matrix. Technology
All right.
AI is a...
And we're going to leave it right there. Give y'all something to think about. This is serious. We're in different times. We're in different times, y'all. And we want you guys to be aware and not be blinded. A lot of the things we talk about may make people uncomfortable, but it's reality.
Yep.
I want to say thank you to Miss Nisha for coming in and co-hosting with me tonight, having this amazing conversation. And will you be visiting us again? I think we could try to do this once a month if you're available. We go into some of this, and then at the end of the show, I could blow your mind.
Yeah.
You didn't think I was gonna have that at the end of the show.
Well, I figured upon meeting and talking, I figured you were gonna have little tricks in your bags. I already knew that was coming.
Yeah, we're gonna go deep diving.
Girl,
So
I already knew you were gonna have tricks up your sleeve. So now I gotta come up with tricks on my sleeve.
listen, you already know. So I want to say thank you for you being here with us tonight. Hold on one second. My thing came off the screen. I want to say thank you for you being here with us tonight. Again, this is Miss Nisha. She's going to be my co-host at least probably once a month or twice a month, whatever she feel like talking about. I want to say thank you to the Most High for actually meeting you. I know you're going to be amazing addition to some of the things that I'm working on. She did not tell you, but she do have some legal background, and she will be helping me with the Alexis Wilson case. Yes, she will. In the background, we're going to be investigating. I'm getting a little bit better at this, guys, and God is sending me the help that I need.
Yes.
So we'll probably be able to give you an update in a couple of weeks or so. Something simple, but we are working on some movie magic back here. So I want to send love and blessings to my second daughter, Alexis. Well, she's actually my third daughter, Alexis Wilson. We do have that petition going on right now to resign it, get to know the case, understand that we're fighting for something serious here. Okay.
Yeah. We
So
are.
do you have anything to say to the audience before we get off of here?
I want to say thank you, Miss Grace, for having me. I really appreciate this. This was fun. This was very entertainment, and I love doing it. And I would love to keep joining you on your podcast and talking about it. And I just want the community and everybody to, these are all real talks. We may joke around, we may laugh a little bit, but I want really everybody to open their eyes and realize what our world has become in all the years. And in order to make it better going forward for the rest of our kids and the kids that are born, we all, as a family, as a community, need to stand up and do something now before it gets any more worse.
I totally agree. And it's beauty. I want to just end off with is beauty and diversity, because who would have ever think me and Miss Nisha from two different walks of the earth be able to agree or have so much in common, and then have so much not in common, but what we have in common is humanity.
Yep.
Being open-minded, loving human beings, and wanting to help human beings. Once you have that foundation, it's really nothing that's supposed to separate you from people, no matter what their color, their political, uh, group, or none of that. We supposed to love each other and be humane to each other. So we're going to show that here, because I keep it very diverse, especially as a Hebrew woman. A lot of Hebrews be like looking at me like, but at the end of the day, we're all different. How can I say? We're part of the overall cloth of God.
Yep.
And we're sewn together like patches. And we're all different patches, and we make a beautiful blanket.
Yeah, and what did I tell you last time? Just because we are different color, different ethnicity, it doesn't. But we bleed the same color.
You already know. I'll be sticking them with them needles, sewing them up. I love you, and I want to say thank you to my audience for tuning in. Please hit the like button, and we are out of here. Let's get it, get it, get it. You know how I like to get off with some music.
Let's get it. It's Friday night.